It's the Book of Alpha-Ronomy, homie. Read it or weep.
It is time for the clinic. If you got a beta male homie, man, that letting these bras running, and he chilling with a bra they need to get rid of, man, hit him up. Tell him to tune in. He needs this. I think men have a real issue not with dropping women so much, but knowing when to cut them off. Men deal with a lot of things that they shouldn't deal with. Now, there's some basic things that men tend to cut a woman off about, but what men have to understand is once you cut her off, she doesn't deserve a second chance. A cut off means that she has done something that has made her presence in your life not only no longer necessary, but no longer desired. You should not be able to turn that desire back on unless that thing is eliminated from your recollection. As long as you can remember that thing that she did that made you kick her to the curb, you should always keep her kicked to the curb, homie. I don't give a damn if you've been with her for 15 years. You must leave your woman immediately if these things have taken place. You don't have a choice. You're going to be less than a man if you keep her beyond this point. You must understand that your interaction with a woman is the most basic form of alpha essence. Trust me, if you're not managing that, then other areas of your life are going to be affected by that. I'm not saying you're going to lose everything, although some men will lose everything, but I'm not saying just because you're not handling this correctly, you're going to lose everything, but the other parts of your life are going to lack. Because this is already a lot of emotional energy to be in a serious relationship with a woman already. Too much damn emotional energy for a man to exert, if you ask me. And then you got to deal with the stress of having a terrible relationship. The relationship ain't even good. Something that I see a lot of men dealing with, and the crazy thing is they don't even know they're dealing with it. You must leave your woman immediately if she controls you, because women don't control you in a way that's conducive to building your alpha essence, to building your masculine energy. They control you in a way that's beneficial to them. They control you in a way that makes you a do-boy, that makes you a step and fetch it, that makes you a beta male simp provider. You understand what I'm saying? They control you in a way that makes their life easier while compiling more and more responsibilities on top of your head. And they top it all off and keep your ass on the hook by calling you a good man. You did? I'll tell you like this. If a woman calls you a good man, you probably a beta male simp mangina. As a matter of fact, I'll go further than that. If a woman calls you a good man, your ass is a beta male simp mangina. You understand? Now, there's a difference in being called a real man and a good man. You see what I'm saying? If a woman calls you a good man, first of all, let's clarify one thing. I don't give a damn what a woman calls you. It should never validate you. If a woman say you the most amazing man ever, it should go in one end out the other. Her validation means absolutely nothing. She doesn't have the wherewithal. She doesn't have the psychological edge. She doesn't have the intentional fortitude. She doesn't have the intellectual capacity to be a respectable validator of your manhood. So if you take that into consideration, then you don't know how to view yourself. This is what men must understand, man. When she controls you, you have wrapped your mind around the concept of pleasing her as your number one objective. Every day you wake up thinking about how you can please her. One of the things you do, especially if you're a man, you want to deal with other women. So she's the woman, you lie to her, you hide things, you act like it isn't what it is. And I know some beta male semi-giant is going to tell you, man, well, you're supposed to lie to women. You're supposed to lie to women. Let me tell you, man, lying to women, lying period, is hard for men because we're naturally inclined to have integrity. So when you are a consummate, constant liar, that shit is a difficult life. It's stressful to be a liar for a man. It's not as easy for a man to be a liar as it is for a woman. Solo TV 84, he critiqued this chick, was talking about how, how black men suck at dating in 2019 or whatever. And she was saying that one of the reasons that men are terrible liars. I agree with her 100%. We're terrible liars. And when you find yourself in a situation where you're lying to a woman, I tell you all the time, when you lie because you're afraid of the consequences of telling the truth. It's one thing if you're a little fucking kid, or it's one thing if your source of income is such that you lie about why you ain't coming to work. Maybe you want to go fishing, the fish biting, and you tell them some shit happened somewhere. That's one thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone that. But I mean, I also don't work for anybody. And if I did, I probably would do some shit like that because I like to fish. That's why I use that as an example. But you have to understand this, man. She controls you. Let me tell you what control is, because a lot of men don't know what it is. Control is when your actions are based on someone else's desires. Like slavery. Slavery is control. When slaves were out in the field working from can to cant, working out in the sun, chopping that cotton, dealing with those snakes out there, dealing with that heat, dealing with those, whatever they dealt with out there. They were doing that not because they enjoyed being in the damn sun chopping cotton. They were doing that because their actions were based on someone else's desires. All of their actions. And so if you are being controlled by a woman, then she owns you, man. Ownership. You shouldn't be willing to give a bra ownership over you.
Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this real. And as always, alpha's up, beta's down. Peace.